Just one moment. All right, I want to make sure everybody can hear me. I guess it does work because I've never done anything like this before. So, nothing like this before, nothing like I'm going to announce here before as well. So, uh, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my announcement to let you know what I'm up to next. I think many folks heard about a month ago that there were some changes at WXCO and Civic Media, and one of the changes was me losing my position in terms of the operations of that radio station and also my um, morning show. I was allowed to continue to do high school sports. In fact, I think they would like me to stick around as well, but I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit differently because, um, well, just I guess going back right after the announcement, or I guess the meeting that about the changes, I thought for a couple of days in terms of what I wanted to do next. Maybe it was time to move on. Maybe it was time to try a different challenge in terms of both what I did and what the location I was doing it in. But it didn't take very long to realize I didn't want to leave quite yet. And I wanted to stick around. I wanted to continue to cover the schools and the teams that I have covered for a very long time. And then I had to decide what avenue I wanted to go into. And the idea of expanding into video has been there. In fact, I made the suggestion to uh, the leadership at Civic last summer that this is the direction we should go into, and nothing really occurred out of that in the time that uh, went through the fall and then into the winter. And then I tried to push a little harder and then got a temporary kind of go ahead, but it was not, I thought, it was not a full throated endorsement. So this is something have been thinking about and thinking that in the last, what, 5 years or so, I think the lay of the land in terms of how people get their sports coverage, the local sports coverage, has changed a bit. I think there is more of an expectation now that we have a video aspect to it. I've been a radio dinosaur for a long time, and that's actually one of the hard parts. I love radio. I am a radio person. I will always be a radio person. I think that there's the old saying from Ernie Harwell, the longtime Detroit Tiger radio announcer, that said, "Well, nothing happens until I say it happened." That occurs in radio, not quite the same in video. But I decided this is the direction I'm going to go into, and just to let you know what I'm doing. And I think it's been sort of leaking out there the last couple of weeks. I've been working on the website aspect of it, and just to make sure it gets up and running as we get into spring sports. And that's really where the launch is going to be. It's terms of trying to get things rolling for the coverage of spring sports. But I do have the new website out, and you can go to it, whether it's on your phone or on your desktop or laptop. It is wasaareasports.com. And if you go there right now, you can see an upcoming schedule for the spring, for the start of the spring. You can go to area sports news. I put up some stories just to make sure I could get that going. It's not at the level that it's going to be at coming up. Um, we have a YouTube channel that you're watching right now that will serve as the hub for our broadcast starting less than 3 weeks away, I believe. Late March is the first broadcast that are on the schedule. So you'll be able to get the games that I stream live right here on this very channel. Um, but that's only part of what I want to do here. And that's why I wanted to kind of explain as opposed to trying to write it all out and let people know exactly what I want to accomplish here. It is multifaceted in terms of what I want to do. There is the website, there is the YouTube channel, there's a Facebook page, there's an Instagram page. I will be getting pages as well on other social platforms as well. So to really be everywhere in terms of an online presence. But this is more than just streaming games. I have a hope that we can almost, in a sense, take a step back in terms of um, the way that we cover local sports. Um, Back in the day, back when I was growing up around here in central Wisconsin, and for many years, you would get extensive local coverage in the newspaper. Everybody would basically get the newspaper. Everybody would get the Wausau Daily Herald, and almost every day you would get either a feature on a student athlete, a feature on a coach, a team, a matchup, a breakdown of the games coming up. I mean, every day there'd be something. So people in the community would learn a lot more about the schools, the teams, the players, the coaches, and everything else. In fact, when I about an hour ago I posted about this announcement, and on one of the social media sites, I got a repost by Scott Williams. I'm sure many of you remember Scott Williams from the Wausau Daily Herald and Stevens Point newspaper as well. He was a guy that was always around. He was always around at games and practices and writing stories and telling the stories of our local student athletes and coaches and teams and the like. But like I've found out the hard way recently, there's a lot of consolidation when it comes to media. And we don't see that anymore. We don't see that on a daily basis. And one thing that I want to do here is on a daily basis be able to tell those stories, to give you information about, again, different angles of what you see, not just have the games, have as well as the games on this YouTube channel, but have some of the interviews, longer form interviews, have a chance to delve into it in that way, have the written stories on the website as well, and to really wrap the arms around and really go deep into a lot of these stories. And that's one of the goals that I have for this project, to be able to do that and to be able to have more spotlights put on. And also, I think that helps bring people to the games and gets people invested in their neighbors and their friends and the kids of down the street. And in fact, I've been encouraged. I think in the last couple of years that we've seen. I think after a few years where I thought the attendance had been dipping a little bit, we're starting to see. I think attendance go back in the right direction, and I think that streaming outlets have been one of the keys to it. That you now have the opportunity to see games that you didn't used to see, and there have been new streamers coming up, and we got extensive streamers that cover a lot of schools and cover throughout the state of Wisconsin. What my operation is, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be laser focused here in this area. I I just don't have the capability at this point to be beyond that, and I don't think I want to be beyond that. I want it to be just covering the Wausau area schools. And also, I am not going to try to horn in on schools that have had relationships with other broadcasters. My goal at the start of this is to continue the relationships I have had with Wausau West specifically, and potentially Newman Catholic as well. Um, if you look at the schedule for the spring here, it's Wausau West heavy at this point with a little bit of Newman. I want it to be where every broadcast is at a very high quality. I don't think I would be capable of having three or four or five broadcasts and be able to find the people that would give the level of broadcast that I think needs to be had. I think two is my sweet spot at this point. It's going to start with one because that's all I got the equipment for. There's investment involved in that. So, but I think if I get the financial support that I hope to get to be able to add a second unit, second pieces of equipment to be able to do this, I would like to do that, as I do have confidence in the people that I work with that I hope that will be able to help me as well. I can't say anything specifically, but I think I've been lucky to have during my radio career when I've had multiple games to have an outstanding pro. I mean, just last Saturday, I mean, Tom Weaver was over doing the Newman playoff game while I was doing the West playoff game. And I think that when I have Tom out there doing it, and that's my goal is to have somebody at that level always to be uh, on the call for these games. I don't want it to be a game that, um, for lack of a better term, is a hard listen or a hard watch. I've seen games where it's like it's just hard. It's hard to follow. It's hard where I just think the level and again, it's not an easy job, and I'm not saying that anybody that does it is not doing as well as they can and giving a great service because having the broadcast on it all is vitally important. But I just think that for this project to begin with, I really want it to be at a high level. I want when you tune in to a broadcast to see it and to hear it be at a high level. It's not going to be at network television levels. It's one camera. But I want the combination of the picture and the voice and the descriptions of these games to be something that you will enjoy watching and want to come back and watch it again and again. So that's kind of where I begin with that. So to have a wide range of coverage. Another aspect that is even more ancillary programming. Over the past almost 10 years on the radio, we had our big high school sports show, and I love doing that. That was a hard aspect in the last month when the changes occurred that I was not able to continue that to the end of the winter sports season, and obviously that was exceptionally disappointing. Um, what form the ancillary programs continue at is to be determined. I mean, I could go in that direction to have a similar type program as that on a weekly basis, but I'm also batting around ideas that perhaps we could have school focused programs, have a big Wausau West sports show, or a big DC Everest sports show, or a big Wausau East sports show, a big Newman sports show, whatever it may be, and see if there's an interest in that. And again, I'm willing to hear from people at these schools that even if I'm not doing the play by play on a regular basis of these games, that doesn't mean that the website is going to be focusing on schools all around the area. Yeah, those stories are as important as well as I go back again talking about what we used to get with the newspaper, and I think at a certain level the television stations as well, to have those stories told about these student athletes and others at each of these schools, and I want to be able to do that. So while we have the website that will be focusing on a lot of these schools in the area, um, the YouTube channel with the games will be more focused on the schools that I have traditionally been broadcasting on the radio and continuing to do in terms of the future, in terms of streaming and announcing as well. So, kind of that's where I stand with that. Um, and oh, by the way, if you're out there and you want to ask a question in the chat, feel free. I'm taking a look at that as well. So, hello, Jeremiah. But if anybody has a question that would like to be answered, feel free to give me a question there as well. And also on the website, there's a way to connect with me. If you go to the website, down there's a contact. You just fill it in, and if you have a question, I'll definitely be able to get back to you. There's direct contact there on that as well. At this point, this is the operation. It is me. Um, I hope to have others help me. I hope that, and I guess, to kind of go into the next phase of what's I need to accomplish here is that I'm not an independently wealthy person. I do need the support of sponsors and advertisers, and frankly, that's the scariest aspect of all of this. If you know of people that are interested in getting information on how to support this endeavor, go to the website and send me a note, and I would love to reach out and get more information to others as well. And also, if you are somebody or you know somebody that is in the sales realm, if you would like to be part of this, I can would love to have some help in that respect. So if you want to reach out to me in that respect as well, I would love to hear from you. So if you're somebody that, hey, maybe it be an exciting project to be involved in to help me sell it, that would be fantastic. And would love to hear from folks like that as well. So trying to think what else I want to kind of touch on. There's so much that's still ebbing and flowing because this has been basically just starting. And there's a lot to try to figure out in terms of starting my own small business. And that's what it comes down to. A lot that I need to do and a lot that I need to be able to figure out. And also, I would love to hear suggestions. So feel free to reach out. And if there's a suggestion that you have in terms of something that would be fitting for this project, I would love to hear about it and to be able to talk about it as well. Um, I will need the support of the viewers and the listeners as well. Um, if you see a story or if you watch a broadcast and you say, man, I really enjoyed that, I would love to have you, because I hope to put a button on the website and to be able to say, hey, you know, give me $1 because I don't want this is not going to be a behind a paywall. I don't want it to be like that. I want this to be out there for everybody to be able to see all the games, to be able to see all the stories, to be able to really delve deep into the local high school sports scene here in central Wisconsin. And that's definitely the idea here. So um, I hope to be able to cover maybe some sports that I haven't covered a whole lot of, because I think there's a lot more room to maneuver here uh, concerning the programming. Um, there would be so often on Wednesday night, my co-host that we get done. It's like there's so much we didn't talk about. We ran out of time. Um, I hope that we won't run out of time coming up with this because we do have, I think, a lot more elbow room to deal with. But maybe during spring and fall to be able to do some soccer games or to do lacrosse games or to do other sports. I mean, that are going on besides the ones that I traditionally do. I don't know what that means. I don't know whether or not it's going to be that all that possible as well. It all depends on scheduling and the like. But I do hope to be able to maybe expand and also to maybe tell some stories that of sports that I haven't covered maybe as much as some would like as well. So again, there's still a lot that's to be determined. But I just would encourage all of you to, if you have a chance, to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the games. I would suggest you make a bookmark on the website because my hope is, as I said, to make it a daily source of information and of stories and of just a lot more in terms of just getting that information out there beyond the games itself. Follow on Facebook. We have a Wausau Area Sports Facebook page. We have an Instagram page. Got links to those on the website as well. The YouTube, the Instagram, and the Facebook. Coming up very soon, I'll have the some of the other social medias as well, and I would really appreciate you following along there as well. Uh, you're always welcome to reach out to me personally in terms of both social media and otherwise, either an email or text or whatever it may be, feel free to drop me a note. Um, and I look forward to talking to a lot of folks and getting their ideas and to try to make this as successful. But successful is so many different things. It's not just a financially successful thing, but that's vitally important because to keep me doing this, it does. But I want it to be high quality. I want it to be really good. I mean, I think one thing that folks who have followed me for 25 years or so, since I've been here in this community doing the games on the radio, is that it's vitally important to try to do good broadcasts, not just to show up and then to leave, to show up, grab a paycheck and leave. That's not good enough. So again, I look forward to hearing suggestions and ideas and everything else from you as well. And I would be remiss by not mentioning, because I mean, in terms of what I want to do, I will steal good ideas from people. One of which was a friend of mine who I think does a little bit similar over in Bayport. I've known for a number of years Chris Learman. He This is not a statewide. His is this Bayport Sports, and I looked at him and what he's been doing, and I want to be able to do that. But also one other thing that I would hope to be able to do that he has done exceptionally well is to bring in potential young broadcasters. Because one idea that I have, and I don't know whether it's going to be able to be worked out or not, is that if there are students or young people, or heck, I mean, even maybe people that have had an interest in broadcasting that are even older, that perhaps we can do JV games where you get some experience as a broadcaster. And to, because back when I started in broadcasting, radio stations had to have live folks on for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't see that anymore. It's hard to get better when you don't get the reps. And I'm hoping that within the schools here in our area, if there are young people that want to get their foot in the door when it comes to broadcasting in maybe not such a high pressure environment. And also, I think it'd be kind of cool to have a JV game on where those student athletes who are not quite yet to that varsity level and their friends and their family get a chance to see them as well. So again, there's a lot that's in the hopper. This is just brand new, but we're just starting. It's I'm going to try to get a lot of stuff on here starting immediately on the website, but the real launch will be for the start of spring sports when if we have our first broadcast. And let me just double check here on the first date that we are scheduled here in terms of our broadcast. And again, go to the website, wasaareasports.com. You can check out our broadcast schedule. The first ones are scheduled, I believe it's over at Greenheck Turner, because last year was the same way, where DC Everest was hosting softball. And Wausau West is over there on Friday, March 27th against Neenah and Pulaski. So that's right now our scheduled start time for our broadcast. But again, I look forward to talking to a lot of you folks, and thanks for all the support. I really appreciated it, especially in the last month. It's been obviously a bit of a roller coaster the last month or so, but I'm very excited about this. I hope you're excited about this. And again, if you know of anybody that would be interested in sponsoring, please go to the website. Please go to our contact, fill in the information, send me a note with anything that you know, uh, or have them reach out to me directly. I would love to talk to anybody that would be interested in hearing more about this and perhaps be able to help us in that respect as well. So, again, I really appreciate you all tuned in. And again, I look forward to seeing you at the games. Okay, bye bye.